I've always tried to live with the mentality that feeling like you can't make a big difference is a really bad reason not to try and make a small one. I think that thought process probably mirrors a lot of people's struggles also, like feeling as if you don't deserve your mental health struggles.
Yeah.
Because like I've had that about my own experience. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, nothing that bad has happened. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm not even entitled to my own feelings.
Yeah.
And that never makes them go away or makes them feel better. And then you
Yeah.
just feel shitty and like you don't deserve to be shitty and like an imposter and like somehow disrespectful to other people who've been through more.
Yeah.
And then people just isolate themselves because they think they don't deserve their pain and then they can't talk about it. And then their mental health gets way worse.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another episode of The Squeeze. I am Tay.
And I am Taylor.
And
thanks for being here.
Yeah, we're happy you're here.
Yeah.
And boy, do we have a fun episode for you.
Yeah. We're kind of geeked out ourselves about this one.
Yes, we are very excited for this episode. But before the episode, be sure to look down at the bottom of your screen, click the subscribe button, maybe give the video a little thumbs up. I know I always have to say it, but it helps us out a lot with all of our things. But yeah, today's episode. Oh, actually, before we get into today's episode, I also just kind of dropped the ball on Taylor that I just booked our first EMDR therapy sessions.
You did just drop
Not
that
together, separately.
Okay. What, for anybody listening and for myself, what exactly is EMDR?
EMDR.
EMDR.
Yeah. Let me
We've
read.
talked about it before, but what?
Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy is a mental health treatment technique. This method involves moving your eyes a specific way while you process traumatic memories. EMDR's goal is to help you heal from trauma and other distressing life experiences.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds fascinating.
So I'm very excited for us because Dr. Amen recommended that we do this for like a while back. And, we've been gone and traveling and all this stuff. So we're pumped I'm pumped. I just told you. So I don't know if you're pumped, but
Me?
yeah. You're probably nervous. That's why that's why I'm going first. So then I can tell you about it.
Okay. Are we going on the same day?
No, I'm going one day, then you're going the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you'll have a day to process.
Okay. Interesting.
How to do it.
Okay. Well, wish me luck, everyone.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a very healing thing. And I talked with the therapist this morning and she seems so sweet. And it's over Zoom.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Oh.
Yeah. So
what?
Excited to report back on this.
Huh.
And our experience with it and kind of learn more about it from her. Because I know about it, but it's kind of hard to like explain it. And she was saying, she even told me it's kind of hard to explain like how scientifically it works. It just works. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in. I don't think I have a choice, but I'm in. All right. This week's episode.
Yes.
We have somebody on that we both are massive fans of.
Yes, very much.
So we're very, very excited to speak with none other than JP Saxe.
Yes. Woo!
You may know him from a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Very emotional songs. His music is he's super vulnerable in his music and talks about a lot of things.
All of his music is like lived experiences.
Yeah.
Real life stuff. And yeah, sitting here, I mean, we recorded with him for like over 2 hours. So we had to cut that down a little bit.
Super fun.
In
addition to being an incredible singer-songwriter, he is a freaking fun dude.
Yeah. We had so much fun and we just kept sidebarring. That's why we were
taping. You'll see.
Taping for so long. But I just love how honest he is. And he's just like, he's just himself, just not that he doesn't care, but he's just like, I am me and I love who I am.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to share that. But we dove into some pretty deep topics with him.
Yeah.
A lot of like personal stuff. But also he gave great advice for like men's mental health as well. About finding an outlet. Clearly his is, music.
Yeah.
And writing songs. we got some little fun behind the scenes stories of some of the songs that he's written, the lyrics behind them, what they mean.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But
we also dive into grief.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening, he's he lost his mother a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about that and his grieving process. I think it'll be a good listen. So
yeah, it's a fun episode. We had a lot of fun taping it and a lot of fun after with our boba.
Oh my gosh. Guy is obsessed with boba.
He is obsessed with boba. I'm obsessed with boba. Tay is not obsessed with boba.
I do not get it.
He does not like.
It's like you're chewing these slimy rubber balls. I don't get it.
It's okay.
At all.
We'll work through it. We'll work through it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
All right. Catch you on the other side. Hello. Welcome to the squeeze. We are joined by somebody that we're very excited about because both Girl Tay and Boy Tay are massive fans of this person, truly.
That's what we call ourselves, Boy Tay, Girl Tay.
Really?
Yeah. It's,
the name and the fandom. We've been like chit-chat for 30 minutes. You said nothing. Is it true? That's exciting.
Yeah, it gets confusing at times. So we just we have to differentiate it. So I'm Boy Tay. This is Girl Tay. And everybody watching and listening, this is JP. You may know him as JP Saxe. Thank you for being here with us today.
My absolute pleasure. Do you guys find that like navigating enmeshment, which usually happens in marriage, I've heard, is like made more challenging by your shared name?
we are pretty enmeshed.
Yeah. I think if there was an enmeshment problem, it's definitely us.
Yeah. We kind of do like everything all the time, like 24/7 together. And now we even work together. So there's just even more. But yeah, that probably.
And then on top of all that, we literally are the same person. It's a lot.
Well, I was reading a book recently that argued that there's actually a very healthy form of codependence. And that codependence as a buzzword has been used as a negative as of late. But there's actually very much such thing as healthy codependence.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's good to hear.
He's like, I like to hear that. He's a little more codependent than I am.
It's true.
Yeah.
They describe, it was in this book Attached. And there was a really cool anecdote they used about a baby or a child playing in a room. And a kid can be playing alone in the room, not regarding their parent in any way, and just playing by themselves, perfectly happy and comfortable. But then as soon as the parent walks out of the room, the kid's like, Mommy, Daddy, where'd you go? Mommy, Daddy, gets all worked up.
Yeah.
But there's really actually no difference in the way they're playing because they weren't engaged with their parent.
Yeah.
They just knew they were there.
Yeah.
And that psychologically actually impacts us as adults too.
Yeah.
Like even if we're doing our own thing, knowing someone's there that loves us, who is just even in the periphery, makes a difference in the comfort in which we confidently do our own thing, which is why you can be independent and codependent simultaneously.
Wow.
Which seems like you guys.
I relate to that a lot. I always like you around when I'm doing something.
Yeah, you do. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Whether physically or, emotionally around.
Emotionally. Yeah. I love that.
I like that.
So we like to start each episode off with this little game called Cit-Rus Got Real.
I love games.
This
Cit-Rus Got Real. I love the pun. That is my kind of pun. That makes me happy.
This jar has some paper in it with questions. If you would like to pull one of those little guys out, you can always tell the people that have used the mic before because the other people are like,
I know.
You can just
so awkward with it. Also, he definitely appreciated our Cit-Rus Got Real name the most out of anybody.
No, I genuinely really loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was it. You got a genuine laugh out of that.
Thank you.
As we discussed, I'm a horrible actor and a bad liar. Like too bad of a liar. I'm too forgetful to be a liar.
Yeah.
I'm compulsively honest 90% because of my values and 10% as a safety mechanism because I know if I lie about something, I'll forget that I've lied about it and then make a fool out of myself later.
Yeah.
Your tag says our hot dog sandwiches. I mean,
well, also we've had this one.
Have we?
We've done this one before. Yeah, because I remember being passionate about this answer.
Oh, okay. Let's pull another one then.
I mean, quickly, if you have an answer, I'd love to hear it because
My answer's no.
yeah, absolutely not.
What happens when the bun breaks from the bottom though, and then it's two pieces?
Then it's a sandwich with a hot dog in it.
So then it goes from a hot dog to a hot dog sandwich.
I disagree.
I think I need the bread attachment.
Yeah.
Well, that just seems like I'm not sure if it's a sandwich. It's just a bad hot dog.
You're right. It's just
Or
a
bad
broken hot
sandwich.
dog.
Broken hot dog.
Yeah.
It hasn't become something new.
He's broken.
Let's try a new one because I don't like that one. I just think it's so obvious.
Great. All right. Question number 2. What is your love language?
Ooh.
Okay. We
All
got
of
that
them.
one.
It's
All of
obviously
them.
all of them.
Love it.
It's all of them depending on who I'm being loved by and what kind of mood I'm in.
Oh.
I like my love languages in different iterations from different people.
Oh.
What is your love language? Is that what you want in a partner, or is that what you're best at giving?
I think your love language is like how you want to.
Receive love.
How you
Or-
want to receive?
But I think it's kind of both.
Oh, wait, no, I think it. Yeah, I'm trying to think how. Yeah, I guess both. Like, if
I mean,
I were to say, like, my love language is acts of service because that's how I show my love to you.
right. We typically do want what we're best at.
Yeah, but isn't it loving to shape your love in the way someone knows how to receive it?
For sure. For sure.
Wow.
Like I would say I have a malleable love language. Like
Yeah.
if I fall in love with someone who just hates compliments, but I'm like, I'm a writer. I can give you like really,
Right.
really ornate, articulate compliments.
Right.
And they're like, I don't like that.
Yeah. And
Even
you're
if that's my like love language
Yeah.
to give, if I
Yeah.
keep giving it, it's not all that loving.
yeah. That is
Like-
true.
There are people in my life that like I want a hug from if shit's going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could be a physical touch guy, but
Yeah.
there are also people in my life that I do not want to hug me if things are going wrong.
Right.
There are people in my life that like, you know, the acts of service, the gifts can be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends what they are. I think
Yeah.
it's all very circumstantial.
Yeah.
And I like all of them.
Yeah.
I think most people like all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely differentiate. And I am trying to get better at what I know hers is because I do not naturally do that. And
What
that
is
is
hers?
acts of service.
She likes
Yeah.
receiving acts of service.
Yeah. I'm very much like just physical touch and words of
No,
affirmation.
you're more so words than physical
Okay.
touch,
Okay.
definitely. And I'm not a wordy person,
Mhm.
so
But her acts of service isn't like, I'll go to the grocery store and come back with flowers for her. But that's not what she wants. She wants a surprise with like the dishes being done
yeah,
or like,
chores,
chores.
the trash taken out.
Super chory person right here.
The other day, I like a clean house.
Yes, you do.
You started putting away, I think like your shoes or something the other day, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, that gets her going.
I have a question.
okay,
So let's say Boy Taylor was to hire someone while you were away to do all the dishes and clean up the house. Would that feel as loving as if he had done it himself when you got home?
I think so because it was.
Yeah,
it would
I don't
be the
think
thought.
you would care too much.
No, the house is clean, and he thought about what I would like. He thought about my feelings.
I think that's a truthful answer.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's like not about the
it's not about him.
self-sacrifice.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
not
just-
about him physically doing it.
Yeah. She just wants me to think about it. She just wants me to be
Think
aware
about me.
that, the entry is a little messy right now.
I think all of the love languages are really just a mechanism of making someone feel considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are all have different ways that we feel considered
Yeah.
For
based
sure.
on our past and our experiences. I don't know if this exists, and maybe it does within the world of, the psychology of our loving relationships, but I think equally important to love languages is conflict languages. And I think it's equally important to talk about really early in relationships.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. I mean,
I don't know if
of
it's a
it
thing.
in that saying.
But like conflict languages, for example, like when shit goes wrong, are you I'm not going to talk to you for the next 24 hours
Yeah.
because if I say something right now, I'll say something I don't mean, and it's loving for me to step away.
Yeah.
Or are you I hate that we've just done something that hurts each other and we're going to fix it right now and we're going to talk about it and we're not going to go to bed angry.
Yep.
Like how you naturally exist in conflict, I think is
Yeah.
almost as if not more important than how you love one another.
Yeah. I mean,
we
probably.
did talk about something similar to that recently with somebody where it was right off the top when you start like dating somebody or getting to know somebody, just let them know like, hey, just so you know, I do this.
Oh.
And I want you to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And
with Dr. Sasha, that's what it was.
Yes.
We had she's a psychiatrist who specializes in ADHD, and she has ADHD. So we were talking about how ADHD and like relationship works.
Yeah. But I think that kind of applies to this, where it's like, yeah, right off the bat, talk about your love languages, but talk about your conflict too, and how you know.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you two have compatible conflict approaches, languages?
Compatible, yes.
Yes,
different.
because they're different.
Yeah. I see. How are they different?
I go mute.
Yeah. I am more like, I want to talk about this now.
Right.
And
he's very good at like saying what he thinks, and like he knows what he's feeling right in the moment. And I'm like, I get so flustered and I'm like, wait, I just like need a second because I can't say, like, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know like what I'm feeling. I have to like take a second and
and then I have to learn to be okay with that and give that space, because it's, that when I like hear that, I'm like, no, I need to talk about this now. Like, and that doesn't do well with her.
Yeah. Or like he would get annoyed that he's like, talk, like you're not saying anything.
I want to hear your feelings. You're literally not talking. I want to know how you feel.
Yeah.
And that just makes her go more on the show.
Yeah. Well, which was great because you were like my first partner that actually like did want to hear what I had to say. So I was like, I feel safe, but I don't know what I'm feeling. So I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, but it does. It ends up working out.
It works out because we don't like yell.
Yeah, her time that she needs, gives me a moment to simmer down, think about how to best approach this. So then, by the time we do have the conversation, we're not talking about like going to sleep and waiting till the next day to talk about it. But sometimes, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
To just process it.
Yeah.
It does work out very well.
I mean, it seems extremely healthy that you guys know that about each other. And I'm Tay and I have that in common. That has been something I've struggled with in relationship.
Yeah.
To recognize that someone not being able to have a conversation with me in the moment I want to have it.
Yeah.
Does not mean that they're hiding from me or being like trying to, because it's painful to like want to deal with it right away and have to like sit with that.
Yeah.
But that it's actually someone who isn't ready to lovingly meet you in a moment. It's more loving for you to say like, give me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I have this song called Tension, and it was about me misunderstanding this a little bit. I can see in retrospect, it was me misunderstanding it. The first lyric of the song is, you say things you don't mean too damn convincingly, then take it back and expect that it won't stick to me. It was just an argument, no ounce of truth in it. I want to believe you, but you came off so articulate.
Yeah.
And looking back, it was me asking someone to communicate with me before they were ready, and then them saying something that they didn't mean because they were really angry.
Right.
And then when they were ready to talk, saying like, no, I didn't mean that. I was really angry, and me struggling to believe them.
Yeah.
But now I understand that it was actually kind of on me.
Yeah.
For asking them to meet me before they had arrived to themselves in a way that felt sincere.
Yeah.
Does that happen often where you learn something about yourself through your writing and your songs? Well, I feel like that's a very obvious question, but like where you maybe had like a take or like a position while writing a song, and in retrospect, you see it differently, after some time.
I try and avoid strong opinions in my songs.
Okay.
Because I really don't think that they're meant to be advice or meant to be suggestions. Songs are definitely not suggestions.
Right.
And for the most part, they're not usually good ideas. They're just truths.
Yeah.
And I think people misunderstand that about songs sometimes. Like they look to songs for advice on how to navigate their emotions and their personal experience. Songs can be really powerful in that they meet you where you are, and that they're another human's experience of their emotions that they're able to articulate in a song.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you should aspire to whatever's being felt in that song.
Yeah.
Because it's likely whoever wrote it, myself included, is going through things that are as messy and complicated and flawed as what we're all going through.
Yeah.
The difference is we've just synthesized it in this 3.5 minute thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something you said earlier that sparked a thought when you were saying that, you know, it was new to feel safe in that conflict and know that like you could step away or you could have a conversation and be met lovingly. I think that's so real because often what it takes to make a dysfunctional relationship functional, like if you're in a dysfunctional relationship, a toxic one, a misunderstood one, like one that is not working.
Yeah.
The strategies to make a dysfunctional relationship functional, once you are in a healthy, functional, communicative relationship, you apply those same strategies and it makes a functional relationship dysfunctional. I've seen that happen.
It's true.
It's a profound statement.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but I feel like we're getting free therapy now.
Yeah.
I'm so, as I said, I'm deeply uneducated. I barely graduated high school.
You're like, I want to clarify.
I just think about my feelings a lot.
Oh my gosh. No, I love it. That's great. If you're able to write them down. Okay, so recently I put on my Instagram, I needed help, essentially, for a good little like midday pick-me-up, or even just starting the day since I've been caffeine-free. And quite a few people.
You do need help.
Quite a few people.
Halfway through the day, you get grumpy.
I do. I get really tired. But there's a solution. Cold plunging.
Yes.
A lot of you told me to cold plunge. And our friends at Ice Barrel have the perfect product for it. For those of you that don't really know what cold therapy is, it has so many benefits. To name a few, it's better recovery and performance, improves your mood, brain function, alleviates depression, anxiety, pain management, reduces inflammation. I could keep going.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. But it truly just does wonders for your body. Even just if you can get your face in the ice, that is great.
Yes. But let's try and work our way up.
We got to get the full body in, but the face is a good way to start.
Because when you step out of this ice barrel, you feel like a brand new person.
Man, I feel like a new woman. Bam, bam. So we work with Ice Barrel, and we got you guys an exclusive offer.
Woo!
So you can go to icebarrel.com/thesqueeze. Use code THESQUEEZE to get an exclusive offer. Ice Barrel offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's icebarrel.com/thesqueeze. Use code THESQUEEZE to get an exclusive offer. Get colder, feel better, and let us know what you guys think of your cold plunge.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Did you like grow up in a musical family, or did you just
Yes and no.
Okay.
So neither of my parents are musicians.
Okay.
But my grandfather was.
Okay.
So there was the concept of being a musician not being a life-ruining decision.
Okay.
Which was helpful to me when I told my
Yes.
parents at 16 that I wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
Because at least there was a grandpa there who had built a life with that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to navigate a challenge a lot of artists do, which is convincing their parents that they're not ruining their life.
Right.
Yeah.
Although they were still terrified.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet. What did he do?
He was a cellist.
Oh my gosh.
He was really good at it.
That's so cool.
Really cool cellist.
Wow.
Dang.
Really fascinating, passionate, morally grounded human.
Oh, I love that.
Do you play the cello at all?
So badly.
Okay.
Like, I think if he was still alive, I wouldn't have played cello on my new album.
Okay.
Because I just would have been terrified of his.
You play it on your new album?
I do. I play some cello on my new album.
Oh my gosh.
I would have been embarrassed about his judgment if he were still around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. In a studio with the opportunity to do a number of takes.
Yeah.
I can play cello on a song.
Yeah. That's cool.
Wow.
It was really fun.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to hear this now. I've probably heard it and don't even know it.
No, it's the new one. Hasn't come out yet.
Okay. Hasn't come out yet.
Yeah. New
Okay.
album.
When
New thoughts, new feelings, new cello.
have you announced when that comes out?
Probably
Yet?
sometime in the fall.
Okay.
Have we announced that?
No, but whatever.
Okay. This hasn't come out for a little bit too. So
I'm not
maybe
super secretive.
Okay.
It's kind of like my whole thing. Transparency first.
Love it. I love it. I'm here for it.
Well, if you change your mind on that, let us know.
Okay, great.
Your publicist is going to be like, we're going to take that back. Thank you. Okay. So obviously like prepping for this, we like watched, read interviews you've done, stuff. And there was a few things that we want to talk about that I just love that you've said, you've kind of talked about like growing up, you didn't like have a lot of friends and you were forced to figure out a relationship with yourself. And I feel like that is so profound of like a child, young adult to do, because people don't do that until like they're like in adulthood. Like that saying that sentence, I feel like is very profound.
I'm not sure I would have described it that way as a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
But there's a real blessing to not being popular young.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
have questions for you about this, by the way.
Yeah. I can definitely relate.
Because I wasn't validated for things that were ultimately unhelpful.
Mm-hmm.
It made being 13 and 14 and 15 very complicated.
Yeah.
But I think it was ultimately a really good thing. Because all of the versions of confidence and charisma and strength in men that I saw around me were so different than who I was learning myself to be.
Yeah.
And so I was like a 14, 15-year-old. It was like, well, I guess I'm not going to be confident. And I guess I'm not going to be strong. And I guess I'm not going to be charismatic because I'm not this buff, like loud, funny at other people's expense, athletic, gets tons of girls guy on the hockey team.
Yeah.
Tell me you're Canadian.
Yeah.
You're Canadian. And it took me a while to recognize that you could be sensitive and masculine.
Yeah.
You could be vulnerable and masculine. You could be soft and masculine. You could be affected. You could be emotional. You could be interested in emotional conversations. You could be interested in connectivity with other people. You could like want to stay up to 3 a.m. talking to your guy friends about what they were going through in their families or in their relationships. Like that could go with masculinity, like took me till I was older because I just didn't see it growing up. And something I wanted to ask you, Boy Tay, about is like, you embodied this like masculine, like for lack of a more nuanced term, like sex symbol for a generation of people. But like, you're also a vulnerable, sensitive, thoughtful man. Was there ever like a point in your understanding of yourself where you felt like the perception of, whatever role you were playing like in pop culture and who you were, like, was a challenging thing to navigate and see as one thing?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a good question.
Yeah. And I wonder if I even know the answer. I mean, I feel like I was able to separate like who I am, from this character that I play. But in addition, I do feel like Jacob was a very sensitive person as well, and he does have the abs and the pecs and those things. But I do feel that I do have a lot of similarities with Jacob. But yeah, it was always important for me to be vulnerable and not have to be perfect. But it took me a while to get to that place. Because back in the height of things, I definitely did have instilled in my brain that like when I do an interview, when I do a red carpet, a talk show, like you have to be perfect.
Like cookie cutter. Like,
yeah, there's nothing wrong. Nothing in your life is wrong.
Yeah.
Everything is great. You are happy. You are thankful. This is an unbelievable position. You have so many fans. You are 1 in a million with this opportunity. Like, you need to just smile and everything should be right. And I think for a long time, definitely through the height and thick of it, I was operating, telling myself that. And it only was until the last few years where I, took a break from the industry and am now easing my way back in, but have a different mindset, which is just like, who cares? Like, everything doesn't have to be right. And I feel dumb for putting on a fake smile all the time and pretending like everything's great and I have all the answers. It's like,
right.
It feels a whole lot better just being who you truly are, whether that's good or bad on the day.
Yeah. To me, like, figuring out what even being vulnerable means was kind of challenging.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, we talk about it a lot. Like, it's okay to be a man and be vulnerable. It's like, okay, but like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
And like, for me, like, it's so funny because like I talk about my feelings for a living.
Yeah.
But I do it in a way that I get to spend as much time as I want crafting how I'm projecting said feelings. So is that really vulnerable? Like, is it really vulnerable to take that much time to create how someone's going to perceive something? Isn't vulnerability more in the allowing yourself to be seen unprepared? Like, that's harder for me. And I think, like, on the surface, superficial version of it, like when I thought like, okay, it's okay to be a man and be vulnerable, I was like, okay, guys can cry. And I was like, well, maybe my vulnerability is saying like, I don't even know how to fucking cry.
Right.
Like, I haven't cried in years.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's the vulnerability because like I don't know how to just wear it.
Yeah.
Maybe the vulnerability is I tried for so many years thinking that if I wanted to be confident and strong, that I needed to be something other than myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That now, like, coming into my own and like being myself is confusing. And like, it's not just like, okay, I'm going to be vulnerable. Here's me crying about something.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's vulnerable. You saying you don't even know what that means.
Yeah. I think that is near the top of vulnerability, is being okay saying, I don't know, or like, I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
Like, just admitting that, because us as men so many times like want to just always, have the answer to everything. And fixers.
To me, like, even when I thought like, oh, I have like reclaimed masculinity for myself as a 23-year-old because like I've accepted I can just be a sensitive songwriter and I don't have to like be a super athlete or a hockey player.
Yeah.
But then I would still go into a relationship and think like my role in this relationship is to never be a burden to you and to try and help you in any way I can, because that's what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
Never be a burden to the people you love.
Yeah.
And
help.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then did that in a relationship and couldn't accept that I was being so much more of a burden by refusing to let myself be a burden. Like, my refusing to let people deal with the parts of me that I was dealing with that scared me was making it way harder for them.
Yeah.
Like, because in my head, it was like, well, if I'm dealing with something that scares me, whether it be like my relationship with my parents or my insecurities around my job or my fear of failure or my fear of like lack of connectivity in my friendships, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
If that's like hard for me, I told myself like, well, I love this person, so I don't want to give them something hard.
Yeah.
This is hard for me. Why would I want to give them something hard for them? Like,
right.
Then that's not loving.
Right. It's going to bring them down.
Yeah, right. Where really what would have been more loving is trusting them enough to say, hey, I'm trying to figure this out and I can't.
Yeah.
Like, can we talk this through? Or you just like sit with me in this?
Yeah.
Like, that would have created an intimacy that I couldn't even concept at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I mean, that's something that we've definitely had to learn and has obviously taken time to learn. And I feel like we still are learning, because I mean, it is scary sharing something, especially if it's like, I don't want to burden. Like, that was always my thing, is I would like wake up and just be having like a bad day and just be like not wanting to burden Taylor, just trying to be like happy and whatever. And now we've kind of like talked through it enough, gone through it enough where sometimes I wake up and like my like depression is just horrible. Like I don't want to get out of bed. So I literally am just like, I'm having one of those days. And he's like, great, what do you need? Like, and that's just like where we're at now, which is
just let me.
So cool.
And yeah, you've gotten so much better at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, job. Okay, I do want to ask about this, and I want to get the quote right because Tay was telling me about this, and I really liked it because I've talked about it on this podcast before as well, because I myself had a somewhat difficult. I don't want to relate it like I wasn't physically bullied a couple times, but I didn't have the easiest high school experience. And a lot of it was because of what I did. And I say all the time that you look at, the bullies or whatever in high school, and at least for me, you look at what are they doing today and what were they making fun of you about? And you said this, pay attention to the things people make fun of you for, because they might actually end up being the thing that makes your life beautiful. For you, that was, correct me if I have this incorrect, but ginger, musician, sensitive. For me, it was the fact that I, at the time in high school, I would get made fun of for being Shark Boy and, an actor and, missing football practice because I have an audition and like, all this stuff. And not just from kids, like from the coaches. And it's just when Tay told me about this quote from you, I couldn't agree with it more. Because if you're getting bullied and picked on for something, it probably means you're doing something right.
Yeah, for sure. And like more and more every day.
Yeah.
I look at my life and think, I fucking wish I could show 16-year-old me this shit.
Yeah.
Because I was so afraid of what being myself would mean that I tried really hard to be something other than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and people do that in much more profound ways than I did. For me, it just meant like, I don't know, trying to like harden myself, trying to like, I don't know. I have failed so hard that it doesn't even feel like I ever really existed as anything other than just a failed attempt at other shit. But like,
you thought about it.
Like there was moments on this last tour, like I played at the arena in Toronto for the first time and I was opening for John Mayer. And if I could show my like 15-year-old self, like I told this story on stage. My first ever arena concert was in the arena in Toronto for Hilary Duff.
Stop.
Oh my gosh.
Which I used to
iconic.
Which I never used to tell anyone because I thought I would be made fun of.
Yeah.
Right.
I fucking loved Lizzie McGuire.
Oh my gosh, yeah, who didn't?
Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure like my sexual awakening was a dream about Miranda from Lizzie McGuire.
That's funny. That's funny.
And so I was like, I loved the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Yeah.
Loved it.
The movie was great.
I feel like that's come back around in pop culture, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I went to the concert. My parents took me, had the time of my life, like bought the merch, and then used to lie and say my first concert was the Rolling Stones.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's so funny.
There was something like really empowering for me as a 29-year-old at the time.
Yeah.
Like on stage, same arena, saying very proudly, I came here for my first arena concert for Hilary Duff, probably 2007 or 2008.
So funny.
And like, I would love for 14-year-old me to have seen that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He would have been stoked.
I love full circle moments like that.
When was that? Last year?
This was in March.
Oh, wow.
Oh, like just.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Dang.
Yeah. That's super cool.
We were talking before this how addiction has played a role in both of our lives. Also, only children.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah, we can relate on that. You're a great only child.
Thank you.
You're great.
You're a great
I
only child.
appreciate that. You seem like a great only child also.
Thank you. Obviously, this is a large question, but what impact has addiction kind of played on your life?
Well, being an only child means your vantage point of your family is yours and yours alone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that when you have siblings, like every sibling has a different version of a family because they exist in the family in a different way. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have the exact same family, because when you were born into a family with an older sibling, you're being born into a different family as you were as the oldest sibling. And I do understand that. But I do think there is something differentiating about your parents only being your parents and not being able to talk to anyone else who has an understanding of what it meant to live in your house.
Yeah.
Like, I was the only kid in my house.
Yeah.
And we had a dog, but he didn't really fetch. He was kind of like antisocial.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of ours.
Yeah. He was a poodle.
Okay.
So like hypoenergetic, but also like anti-friendly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've heard that.
He was like, yeah. Like, I love cats, but he was a very like cat-like dog.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. That's
Anyways,
one of
all
ours.
that to say, he didn't, have conversations with me
Yeah.
about my family also dead.
Yeah.
The poodle.
I mean, in normal poodle years, I think he lived to like 19.
Oh, wow. Fantastic life.
Yeah.
Okay.
He and my dad held on there for a while.
Wow.
So I wanted a little sister really badly.
Mm.
I'm gonna tell you the things that I've noticed about my life recently that are really good, that I think are because of being an only child. I recognized quite young that if I didn't create my own family, like in my community, if I didn't create family out of my friendships,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have one.
Yeah.
And I think to this day, the thing I'm most grateful for in my life is the strength of my friendships.
Mm.
Like, I have a lot of friends who feel like my family. I have a lot of friends who would hear me say they feel like my family and be like, what are you talking about? We're a family.
We are.
Yeah.
What do you feel like? Like, they don't take offense.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people in my life like that. And they make for the happiest moments of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have. I think, I mean, who knows the hypothetical? I don't think it would be, I'm not sure about that, but sorry, sometimes sentences are challenging. What I'm saying is, I do think it's because I'm an only child that I was so intentional about creating friendships that felt like my family.
Yeah.
And now I have that all over the world, and I'm really grateful for it. And when my friends have kids, I pretend they're my nieces and nephews.
Oh, yeah.
And again, they would get mad at me for saying pretend, because they'd be like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're TOJP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I relate to that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like the fact of like, no one, like Taylor has one sister, and like, if their parents fight, they can like talk about it, and it's like the two of them. But if my parents are fighting, there's just like me. And then if one of them comes to talk to me about it, or if I'm listening to it, like, I don't have anyone to like vent to about it.
Yeah. And then my mom was an alcoholic not for her. I mean, my mom was such a dichotomy, because she was a really extraordinary woman.
Yeah.
Who lived an incredible life and had incredible stories, and was a brilliant anthropologist and language teacher, and traveled all over the world and did amazing things. Worked at a refugee camp in the Philippines and taught English in Peru for, 15, 20 years, and spoke like 5 languages, and worked for the State Department, and was this amazing woman.
Yeah.
It just so happened that my 9 to 17 adolescence coincided with her having an era of pretty extreme alcoholism.
Yeah.
Like, I would get home from school and she'd just be blackout drunk all the time.
Yeah.
And my dad's way of dealing with this, for the most part, was just getting really high in the basement.
Okay.
So it'd be like drunk mom upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
stoned dad downstairs. My dad and I came up with this little like gamification of my mom's alcoholism, which is if I would get home and she'd be really drunk, one of us would bring up the word Aruba, to the other because we had taken a family vacation when I was like 10 to Aruba, and my mom had just gotten belligerently drunk in Aruba and left me alone in a casino at 10 years old. So this became a joke between my dad and I.
Right.
And whenever I would get home and it was like really bad, my dad would like say Aruba. Or I would go downstairs and be like, Aruba? He'd be like, yeah. And that meant like, avoid your mom.
Yeah.
Or if she tries to talk to you, make sure you say everything right.
Yeah.
Because if you say the wrong thing, she could get violent or break shit or leave for 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
And that absolutely framed the way I have navigated my intimate relationships since.
Yeah.
Thinking that if I say the wrong thing, everything will go to shit.
Yeah.
Like I still have to unlearn that, to think that I can say the wrong thing to someone and that they're still going to meet me lovingly.
Yeah.
And that I can like retract and work through things with someone else.
Yeah.
Like I'm still figuring that out.
Did your mom struggle with that before you, or is there like a family history?
I don't really know.
Or? Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I mean, not that that means anything, but people always, addiction tends to be trickled
I mean, my
down
grandfather definitely would have scotch with breakfast.
Okay.
Noted.
But he was still brilliant and functional.
Right.
But there was definitely scotch with breakfast.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's probably not the vibe.
Yeah.
When did you lose your mom?
January 2020.
Oh, wow.
So it's been like just over 3 years.
Okay.
I also didn't drink till I was like 25.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, I was really afraid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with? I mean, I've never blacked out. I don't really. I like will have one drink and I'm like, I don't like getting buzzed or like feeling out of control. I think because of my experiences with that. But yeah, I was going to ask how your relationship with it is.
My parents unintentionally did this reverse psychology thing with me where it's like alcohol's not cool because mom does it, and weed's not cool because dad does it.
Yeah.
So I was just not interested in either.
Yeah.
So I wasn't drunk till I was 25 years old.
Yeah.
Now I do feel like there's a certain like reclaiming power for me in being able to drink and have it be healthy and in moderation.
Yeah.
And that I can like allow myself to be like a little out of control with people I trust is actually kind of cathartic.
Yeah.
Although
sure.
I did go to a bar in Highland Park the other night, drank a little too much with my friends. And then one of my friends bet me that she could get more phone numbers at the bar than I could.
Oh, I love this game.
And I really stupidly agreed to this game.
Yeah.
And she's a hot girl. So I lost.
See, we've done this.
And I made a fool of myself in the process.
I mean, we haven't done this because I would obviously lose. But we did this to our friends. Our
married
couple. Husband and wife. We told them like we asked them like who could pull more guys? Marissa or Ryan? The husband or the wife? And they got in like a good.
They were both hitting on men.
Yeah. Yep.
Fun
game.
Yeah.
I think Ryan was trying to get the game to be played at a gay bar.
Is Ryan bi?
No.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun game.
He wears like a little low button. He looks like he has a little mustache. Looks like a little Italian.
We love some harmless queer bait.
Yeah.
This is the same couple who also had a competition with each other on who could get accepted to Raya first.
As they're married.
If anybody works for Raya, they're married, happily married, but they wanted
People
to
are
know
on there for friends.
Yeah. Who could get accepted to Raya first. And to this day, they have neither one of them have gotten an email back.
No.
Yeah. So
I am on Raya.
You are?
I am.
Okay.
I am indeed.
We'll put in a good word for our married couple friends.
I don't know anyone on there who's in control of the membership process. But
oh my God.
It is quite an adventure.
I can't imagine.
I'll show you my Raya later if you want.
I've never seen it.
That I haven't either.
It would be a really fun like first opening line to have boy Taylor and girl Taylor message someone on my behalf. This could be a fun game.
That would be pretty good.
And then if she ended up being the love of my life, we could credit this podcast.
Could we marry you if you ended up getting married?
If you DM the person on Raya that I end up marrying, then absolutely you can marry us.
Great. Done deal.
Okay.
Sign me up.
Like team, what's it called? Pastors? No, officiators.
The officiate. Yeah, we would.
Officiators.
Yeah, we would be the.
We can tag team it.
Yeah.
I officiated my best friend's wedding recently.
Really?
How was that?
They're still married. So I think I married them
That's
successfully.
good. That's good.
I'm one
You did
for
a good
one.
job. Said a good speech.
That seems like a lot of pressure to me. I don't know if I could do that.
I did. I was a tad weepy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was a tad weepy. Also, do I want to tell this story?
We could just skip over it.
It's a good story, though. I mean,
Do you want us to take it out?
no, well, I haven't told it yet.
Okay.
This wedding was okay. Well, note one, beautiful wedding. Extraordinarily proud of my wonderful friends for finding each other and being madly in love. They met on our bowling team. They're the cutest.
Wow.
They met on a
Their
bowling
vows were
team.
adorable. Yeah, I used to be on a bowling team.
Stop.
Although I'm horrible at bowling, but it was more of a social activity.
Yeah.
Vows were gorgeous. Everything was beautiful. What made it particularly emotionally convoluted for me was my ex-girlfriend was in her wedding party.
Oh, okay.
So I had to like watch her walk down the aisle towards me, officiating wedding.
Wow.
Isn't that an adventure?
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
new boyfriend was there, which made it a bit easier for everyone.
Okay.
That should like be like the beginning of a rom-com or something.
Yeah.
What happens in the rom-com?
I haven't thought about what happens next, but that's a really good
Scene
setup.
one, guy officiating,
Yeah.
kind of quirky but handsome ginger.
Great.
Ex-girlfriend walks down the aisle, is in the wedding party,
Yeah.
hanging off of the new boyfriend the whole time as an emotional support blanket.
Mm. Are they walking down the aisle together too?
No.
Okay. But just the whole
They
night.
did in the rehearsal though.
Okay.
You know, it was actually like, in a way, a really beautiful thing because I got to see her feeling loved
Hmm.
and I got to see her in a life that she wants without having to have it be a life that I gave her.
Wow.
Love that. We need more people like you.
Yeah.
That's arguable.
That's questionable.
I know this is different for everyone, but I myself like haven't had to deal with grief
Mhm.
like at all
Yeah.
Mhm.
outside of like a family dog.
Which is real.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I cannot imagine. We have 2 dogs. Cannot imagine that day. But yeah, like I haven't even lost a grandparent.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your family just extremely healthy or are they just having babies young?
Definitely having babies young, but some of them do.
You
Some
have
of them-
4 grandparents.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like knew, I knew half of my great grandparents.
Damn.
Yeah. So I still have 4 grandparents, both my parents. So I just haven't had to deal with grief
Mhm.
yet. And I'm if I'm being completely honest, I'm worried about that day. But obviously the grieving process is different for everyone, but what was that like for you? And
Is it like?
Yeah.
what is it like? Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm curious because I'm honestly terrified of having to go through that.
Yeah. I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
And one of the scariest things about it is if you don't let it happen, if you don't let yourself feel it, it gets worse. Like what I've realized recently is like when something horrible first happens, like you lose a parent, it's so all consuming of a feeling
Mhm.
that it's very tempting to just ignore it as much as possible.
Yeah.
To bury yourself in work, bury yourself in relationships, bury yourself in service to something other than facing
Just
what you were
not.
going through.
Yeah.
What I've noticed kind of has happened is like at first the grief was like right here, right?
Yeah.
Like right, like bottom of my neck, top of my chest, like right there. And I didn't let myself feel it. And then so it slowly sort of started digging its way into every part of me
Yeah.
and every part of my life, where now rather than just being this big feeling that I'm facing, now it's this much more elusive feeling that is just everywhere. So excavating that grief in a way that allows me to deal with it in a healthy way has become far more complicated. Like my mom didn't want a funeral because she didn't want to burden anybody, which was such an error. Like I listened to her like out of respect, and I should not have. She was wrong about that. Funerals are important for a reason. Like they give you a place to, in a consolidated, focused way, face grief. And by not having that, and by jumping right into tour, and I was 6 months into a new relationship, and it just, my career was moving, and then there was just so many other things to focus on that I just didn't look at it. And now 3 years later, I feel like I'm starting to legitimately face it on purpose.
Interesting.
And it's a lot harder because it's not just dealing with the grief. It's dealing with how the grief has affected my ability to feel joy, how the grief has affected my ability to feel love, how it's affected my ability to like get lost in a moment.
Yeah.
Because you know who Brene Brown is? So she talks in Power of Vulnerability, she talks about emotions being a master dial, which I really like. Like she talks about how we trick ourselves into thinking we can selectively turn down our emotions. Like we can turn down grief, we can turn down pain, we can turn down resentment, we can turn down sadness.
Yeah.
But that really, like when we try and turn down the feelings we don't want, we turn down the feelings we do want too.
Yeah.
And I can say from experience that has absolutely happened.
Oh yeah.
Like in my effort to not feel my grief, I have made it far harder for me to feel any of the things in my life that I actually do want to feel.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel as happy. I don't feel as excited. I don't feel as fulfilled because I didn't let myself feel any of that. So now I'm having to like retroactively go back and do all of that. It's way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you go to therapy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird. Right?
Uh-huh.
I do.
You had to like go through several therapists to get to like the one, right?
Although I recently missed a session and I was really embarrassed about it. So I haven't texted back my therapist because I'm embarrassed that I missed a session without telling her.
This is your moment to publicly apologize and let your therapist know that.
I hope she doesn't listen to these things.
She's like, I thought our sessions were working. I guess not.
Yeah, I missed one session and I just like felt shame, so I didn't go back. I
would do that same thing.
Yeah, it's an in-process situation. Like,
yeah,
so funny.
Yeah, but I did when I first found the therapist that I'm now allegedly seeing, although ghosted once and embarrassed about. It was like a month ago too. I need to text her.
Maybe we do that after this. Maybe we text her and then we go on Raya.
Raya text my therapist.
Yes.
Yeah. Dear therapist, I'm so sorry. I hope you can understand. You should, because you're my therapist.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, like 2018, when I started seeing this particular therapist, I hadn't seen one in a while, and I really wanted to find one I liked. And the first 5 that I went to, I just thought were not for me.
Yeah.
To put it a nice way.
Yeah.
Like, kind of dumb. Like a couple of them were dumb.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure how they became qualified for this.
Right.
Like this one dude who I got a song out of, this one dude, I told him this whole story about how I'd gone to this. This is a crazy story. It's been long enough. I'm going to tell you. This is what sparked me wanting to find my therapist.
Okay.
There's a song on my first album called I Shouldn't Be Here.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to tell you the story or tell you the lyrics to the song? I'm going to tell you the lyrics to the song.
Okay.
We'll fill in some details. So lyrics to the song I Shouldn't Be Here are, it's like we paid a visit to a past life where I was still yours and you were mine and nothing had changed at all. I couldn't get it up for you the first time. Like my body knew it wasn't meant in you, or maybe it was just the Adderall. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. That's first one in chorus.
Okay.
And this is a story.
Okay.
Which follow-up question?
No,
I
I'm
think-
just,
yeah,
I'm going to let you talk because, go ahead.
Sure. Like, what is he saying on this couch right now?
I just want to know where the therapist is going to come into this.
Yeah. So, the therapist came into this being very traumatic and me wanting to talk to someone about it. So, 2018, a friend of mine's like, yo, JP, I'm going to be in Sequoia National Park. We're going to swim the Kern River and do a bunch of mushrooms. Do you want to come? I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, cool. It's like, if you want to bring someone, like bring whoever. Like it's like a 2.5 hour drive from LA. It'll be fun. And in my head, my stupid head, I think, you know who I'm going to invite on this excursion? My ex-girlfriend, who I haven't spoken to in 6 months.
Wow.
And she goes?
So I text her. We had not spoken in 6 months. And I text her and I say, hey, this friend who she knows is going to do a bunch of mushrooms and swim up the Kern River. Do you want to come? She goes, yes.
What?
And I was like, okay, I'll pick you up at 9 a.m. tomorrow. She goes, sounds good. That was it. I hadn't talked to her in 6 months. That was the conversation.
Stop.
So then...
That's your worst nightmare.
Yeah. So then we did this and I was so nervous. So I took like more Adderall than I should have. And then on the drive up there were certain side, we got carried away in a moment. And then we pulled over to the side of the road and then things didn't go the way I wanted them to go. And then I was fucking mortified. And then I literally pulled off the side of the road and jumped in the river and like a moment of just immense, I don't know what to do with myself. And then she just laughed at me. And then I got back in the car and then we did a bunch of mushrooms and had a really beautiful day. And after that, I was like, Jesus, that was such a fucked toxic adventure. I need a therapist.
So that's what originally caused you to seek therapy.
Yes. That series of decision making.
Okay.
So then I booked like 5 appointments and told them all this story that I've just told you. And one of them, who I thought was the least useful, goes, well, it sounds like a learning experience. I was like, 180 an hour for a learning experience, which is the first verse of my song Explain You, where I go, my therapist called you a learning experience, 180 an hour. That's all that he mentions. Missing you is getting fucking expensive. It's been 10 months now. There really ain't too much I've figured out. There was just something about being wanted by someone who never knew what they wanted.
Wow.
And that was one of my first songs to do well.
Oh my.
I got a bunch of songs out of that adventure.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. How did the rest of the weekend go?
So the river was great. Everything was a metaphor. Because when I do drugs, everything's a metaphor. Also, when I don't do drugs, everything's a metaphor.
Right.
They're just like louder with psychedelics, which is the second verse of that song. It's everything's a metaphor when you're up north on drugs in a river with your ex-girl. We didn't think it through at all. Swimming upstream just to let the tide pull us back through it all.
Oh, wow. You did get some good material out of this decision.
Yeah, it's really a dangerous reality that occasional recklessness can result in effective art.
Right.
Yeah.
I really have made it a goal of my life to be able to make art that I love based on parts of my life I haven't fucked up. Because I don't want to depend on a life of toxicity, pain, remorse, and resentment in order to write things that I like. Like I think the tortured artist trope is old and boring.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a good enough writer to make great art out of parts of my life that I love.
Yeah.
But, this was like, I was like 24, 25, we were getting reckless.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So what happened afterwards? We drove back. We had a really beautiful conversation. Drugs wore off. We decided that maybe we shouldn't try doing that again.
Okay.
Despite my vote in favor.
Okay. So it didn't rekindle anything.
Not at that moment.
Okay.
There was a revisitation later.
Okay.
Which sometimes you just gotta run back into the house to make sure the thing that you think you've forgotten is not there.
Yeah.
It's like when you lose love, I think you treat it like leaving your keys somewhere. Like the first place to check is, well, where's the last place you left it? I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I miss love. Let's check the last place I had it.
Yeah.
But if it's not there, just like if your keys are not in the drawer you thought they were in,
right.
If you keep going back to the same drawer, like that no longer makes sense.
Yeah.
You check the last place you had it once. If it's not there, you have to look elsewhere.
Yeah. That's true. That's good. Have you written a song about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a song I wrote for a friend of mine. It's called For Emily.
Okay.
I was trying to give her advice on this girl who was being mean to her. And I was like, Emily, you're the best. And you deserve to be loved in the best way. And you are being loved in such a twisted way.
Yeah.
So there was this lyric I wrote. I've got your back no matter what. Even if you fuck up. I know you're just looking for love in the last place you left it. I promise I get it. I just don't want to see you getting hurt again, going against the best advice of all your friends. Wow. And then it's rambling. Let's pick up the conversation about how you deserve better. I was happy when you left her and I really fucking hate her, but I swear I'd make an effort if she made you happy, but she doesn't make you happy. She's hot and she's familiar, so you let her treat you badly. Which happens.
So you wrote that for somebody else?
For Emily.
Okay.
The song's called For Emily.
Okay.
I love that.
Maybe it was for myself a little bit.
Yeah. That's sweet. Okay. Last little.
That was such a tangent.
I loved it.
I don't even know how you
I feel like this whole episode's been a tangent, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
A lot of sidebars.
That's how my brain works. But I do want to know, like, I mean, obviously, songwriting is literally your life, and you're able to, you know, take all of these experiences that you've had and put them, articulate them into lyrics that then become a song. I do love that you did bring up, you know, being able to write about like the happy functional things in your life, not just the, you know, the traumatic things. Cause I do always wonder that, but, what like role has songwriting played in your life, from the healing processes of, you know, losing your mom, relationships? What has that been able to kind of provide for you?
I've written one song about my mom, which I'm happy exists. It's called Sing Myself to Sleep. It's the last song on my first album. And it's the only song I've never performed on stage. Because I don't know what I'd play after it.
Yeah.
It's hard to segue in and out of.
Yeah.
But I mean, songs have been such an integral part of so much of my life that it's hard to boil it down. But I will say songs, there's this phenomenon I've noticed recently where when you first write a song, it can be so healing to take a emotion that's inside of your body and then put it in something outside of you, like to externalize this thing that you're dealing with. It just feels like you've cleared space in your chest.
Yeah.
And then it exists outside of you. And then that's really lovely and useful for like 8 to 16 months. And then when that feeling is genuinely now out of you, but if that song is out in the world, now you're performing that song, and the same song that took the feeling out of you is now putting it back into you every time you sing it.
Oh, wow.
I've noticed that happening.
Yeah. Actually, I was wondered about that.
Yeah. Is it like scary being so like open, like in your songs and stuff? Because you literally like the life experience you literally just told us about this story is literally like the lyrics. Is that like,
it is
that scary?
I mean, I have played that particular song does make my friends laugh.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I've when I first wrote that song and I played it for people, everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know. It's like, it was traumatic. So let's put it in the song and then it'll become funny." And it did. It worked. I would say every job comes with its professional hazards, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a football player, your professional hazard is concussions.
Yeah.
If you're a singer-songwriter, your professional hazards is people knowing a little bit more than you'd like them to about the things in your life that scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And I love being a songwriter. Like I love being an artist. And I love that because I talk about parts of my life that aren't the most comfortable.
Yeah.
People want to talk to me about the parts of their life that aren't the most comfortable.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like that wherever I go in the world, people come to shows and want to talk to me about the shit that they're really feeling and really going through. Because like in any conversation, when someone tells you something personal about themselves, the inclination as a human is to tell them something personal about yourself back.
Yeah.
So are there emotional hazards? Definitely. Does every job come with some bullshit that you have to navigate? Also, definitely. I would not trade it for the world because it gives me a life void of small talk. Because people want to talk to me about what they're really dealing with.
I love that.
That's very cool. All right. So this is our Lemon 11 segment. There are 11 questions that are kind of rapid fire, you know, but they're just fun little questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll kick it off with number 1.
Mm-hmm.
What movie or song title best describes your mental health today?
What movie or song title best describes my mental health? Huh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like today, like in this very moment?
Yeah. Or, you know, or I see, I've wondered that when we've asked the question, or is it just today in general, like recently?
It could be whatever you want it
Like
to be.
this chapter. I don't
Honestly,
know.
whichever one has an answer.
Have you seen the Recess movie? Like Disney's Recess?
No.
Do you remember that TV show? Is that a Canadian thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Recess. Wait. Yes. Yes,
Oh,
those
yeah.
characters. Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I was allowed to watch that.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm younger than you guys.
Are you in your mid-20s?
Yeah, she just turned 26.
Keeps
Happy-
calling me 25.
Happy birthday.
It
Wait,
was,
how old are you?
31.
Okay, so I'm right in between the two of y'all. Well, not right in between. I'm slightly younger than you.
Okay.
I'm 30. I just turned 30.
Okay. So are you 93?
93.
Okay.
Look at that. This came out in the first episode aired in 97.
I used to
Year you
love
were
that
born.
show.
There is
I don't know why that came to mind at first. Usually when people ask me my favorite movie, because I like surprising people and because I'm a quote unquote artist, they expect me to give them like a really, highbrow,
Right.
like artsy movie. So I usually just say Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good movie.
I really love that movie. It's my comfort movie.
Yeah. That's a good one that you can just kind of watch.
I'm not sure if I
Whenever.
relate to it,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a comfort movie.
Yeah. Forgetting Sarah Marshall or Recess.
Number 2 is how open are you with the people in your life when struggling?
I would say it depends on the day.
Okay.
And it depends on the struggle. For whatever reason, some struggles are less are less scary to share than others.
Yeah.
But I would say there are people in my life that I will tell about almost anything.
Mhm.
I have a couple of them. I
Yeah,
don't think you need more than a couple.
for sure.
It just becomes a lot of reliving
Yeah.
and explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3. What is your favorite part of your morning or night routine?
Question. By the way, to the previous question though,
Yeah.
I've noticed this thing that happens a lot where I will share something with a friend that I'm not sure about,
Uh-huh.
but I'll just like try it
Yeah.
and then find very soon after that friend sharing things with me that they wouldn't have beforehand.
Yeah.
And that when you're open with people, you give them permission to do the same with you. You like set a tone of like what's allowed,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that makes people feel so much more themselves.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you actually
love
like,
that.
become a much better friend by leaning on your friend
Yeah.
because you show them what they can ask you for when you ask
That's-
them for it.
Very
Yeah.
true.
That's so true.
Very true.
Sorry, what's the next
Favorite
question?
part of your morning or night routine?
Okay, so I'm shit at the morning.
Okay.
It was one of my goals for 2023. Conquer
Okay.
the morning.
Okay.
So far, that's going poorly. I'm trying to not look at my phone before I go to sleep or when I wake up.
Yeah.
Going poorly.
It's hard.
Trying to like get outside first thing in the morning. I even bought like the outdoor Crocs to help with this mission.
Oh, yeah. Put them in whatever that mode is.
Sport mode.
Sport
A
mode.
friend of mine gave me
Oh.
shit yesterday for having my Crocs in sport mode in the house.
I do that sometimes.
If I have socks on, I have to put them on in sport mode to like hold them in.
Right.
I had socks on.
Look at that.
Wait, maybe I didn't. I can't remember. We had a little gathering at my home, and when we have the party at my house, I put in absolutely zero effort.
Yeah.
I was just like, "You're in my home. I'm in my PJs,
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Crocs and socks."
Yeah.
That's so good.
So my favorite part of it, I have no idea. I'm bad at it.
Okay.
I'm like really trying.
Still figuring that one out.
The
I started
Crocs.
doing a skincare routine.
Okay.
You started doing one?
Yeah.
Oh,
The internet just kept telling me that like
you need to moisturize.
it's hot when guys have skincare routines.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll be on trend.
What do you do?
I wash my face. And then
With just water or with?
no, I bought a facial soap.
Great.
And I bought like a facial moisturizer.
Look at that.
I bought an eye balm.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it in one of those little cute little packages they give you on the plane. And
What's
then
an
I liked
eye
it.
balm? Just
I agree.
like an
An eye
under
cream.
eye.
Yeah,
cream?
one of those.
Okay. Okay.
And then I also bought this body cream that's the same smell as the cologne I wear. And I rub it on my tattoos.
Oh,
It's like a tattoo care thing, but I think it actually ended up being like a really nice sleep,
Mm.
like get into my body routine.
yeah.
It's meditative. In a
What
way.
is the scent?
It's called Murrin Tonka. You have a similar one in your bathroom.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Joe Malone.
Oh, the Tonka. Oh, okay.
You don't have the exact same one, but it is a derivative. of
Okay.
having the candle you have in the bathroom.
Got it.
Good candle.
Yeah. We love a good candle.
Yeah.
Yes.
The tattoos have helped with like taking care of my body because like I really love them
Uh-huh.
in a way that I usually don't love things that are associated with myself.
Okay.
And I found like that's
Yeah.
been like extending like a loving affection to parts of my physical form that I usually wouldn't because they feel like art that isn't mine.
Right.
Yeah. I
I
love
like
that.
Yeah. Do you have a lot?
I have like 14.
Okay.
How many are on your arm?
Most of them are here.
Okay.
There's like the big ones are here. And then there's one here. And there's this new bird, which I really love.
Oh, wow.
Oh, whoa. Oh, wow.
Look at the color in that.
Oh, wow. That color's so pretty.
Thanks. I really like
Jeez.
it too.
Wow. Wait, is there a bird on your shirt too
Is there?
right now? Oh, no.
Just
No.
that's a
It's a
mountain.
No,
Couldn't see.
that's
The bird is flying over
the mountain
mountain.
and the river
He's-
that he went to and visited.
Oh, boy.
I just got
What a world.
my first tattoo.
What does it say?
It is our wedding date, 11/11/22.
That is an extremely symmetrical wedding date.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I needed it.
Congratulations. That wasn't that long ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just had, I guess, our 6 month.
Congratulations.
Grayson. Yeah, thank you.
Fun times.
But yeah, now I got a tat.
Now he's tatted. Now we just need a little more. Number 4
Mhm.
is how has your career impacted your well-being?
I mean, if I wasn't successful, I would hate my whole life.
The most honest answer we've got yet.
Yeah.
So
Great.
it is
So
my
it's
my,
been
my
good.
well-being is completely what's the word? It is unsustainably connected to my well-being,
There
Yeah.
you go.
That's
I
good.
would say.
All right. We like it. I like it.
My self-worth is directly tapped in to the most recent performance of a daily post.
Yeah.
It's not even that zoomed out. It's like whatever the internet thought about me that day is what I think about myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did your last post do?
I didn't post today, so
Okay.
I essentially don't exist.
Okay. So clean slate. I essentially don't exist. Number 5. What would you say is the most misunderstood thing about you?
Honestly, people think that I'm more vulnerable than I am.
Okay.
I would say the most misunderstood thing about me is they think that because I'm able to speak vulnerably about the things I'm sensitive about means I'm good at being sensitive and vulnerable.
Right.
And I would say it is much easier for me to be sensitive and vulnerable when I have a lot of time to think about how I want to craft said sensitivity and vulnerability.
Yeah.
It's still really hard for me to show up with the people I love in an uncrafted, unprepared, imperfect way.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to show up to myself in an
Yeah.
unprepared, imperfect, vulnerable, scared way.
Yeah.
So work in
That's-
progress.
That's cool. I mean, honestly, that's cool to hear.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I wouldn't have thought that.
Number 6 is what is the greatest advice you've ever received?
I mean, lefty loosey, righty tighty, I use a lot.
Same, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
The fact that came to your mind
I know.
so quickly.
Barely even finished the question. Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I like it.
It comes up a lot.
It
Yeah.
does.
Especially it's been hard for me to open things recently because like my hands are all fucked up because I play the piano so much.
Mm.
So whenever I like start exercising, like my wrists are the first to be angry at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I tried to open a jar of salsa yesterday and you know what? This was a moment of vulnerability I'm proud of. I was comfortable enough in my masculinity to ask Matthew to help me open this jar of salsa.
Love
Okay.
it.
And he did it really easily. And I didn't even make any excuses. I just accepted his help.
You didn't do that. I loosened it.
I didn't
Bit.
do that.
Okay.
I just accepted that he had stronger wrists than I did.
You're like,
And I was okay with it.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Because my value, my worth, and my strength is not dependent on the current capabilities of my wrists.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I appreciate you sharing that with
Although
us.
it hurt me enough for me to remember it 24 hours later.
Yeah.
It
se-
affected me
Yeah,
somehow.
It seems
It's
like
still
it
in there.
stung a little bit.
We're gonna look for the song lyric with salsa jars. And
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe. Matthew's strong though. So he's a big boy.
Okay.
I don't feel a sense of competition with him. I actually feel safe with him around.
Love it. Love that.
Thank you, Matthew. Number 7. What does wellness mean to you?
So here's what I'm working on.
Okay.
Sometimes when I don't want to do something that is good for me, I think there is something wrong with me because I know something will be good for me and then I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I feel that.
And to me, wellness is accepting that sometimes it's okay to do less in order to do more. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, I value, like, my self-discipline with my goals so much, and I've identify so much with my sense of ambition that if I don't want to do something that I know will be good for me, I am so hard on myself about it.
Yeah.
So wellness for me at the moment is accepting that it's okay if I'm not committed to my goals at every moment of every day.
Yeah.
And that there can be moments where I genuinely just let myself rest.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me a lazy asshole who is giving up on my dreams.
Yeah.
That makes me a human being who needs to recharge in order to arrive to a taken care of version of myself that I can trust will want to do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
And that I can't just will myself past all of my human needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's as simple as I really know I should do this one. I really know I should write this email or reach out to this person or have this conversation, but I really don't want to. And how can I will myself to do it? Or it's dude, have a snack.
Yeah.
Take a nap, go take a shower, meditate for 20 minutes. Then you'll just want to. You don't have to coerce yourself into these things.
Yeah.
So that's what wellness means to me at the moment. It's being a little bit more forgiving with my need for rest.
Yeah. That's so important too.
Yeah. Very true and very important.
Yeah. Number 8 is, what is your relationship with social media, and do you think it affects your well-being?
That's a complicated one. So on the one hand, I'll give positives. I really love that I can talk to people all over the world at any given time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that I can be a part of people's world and they can be a part of mine, in that at any given time, anywhere in the world, we can have a conversation about art or boba or bullshit.
Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere. Awesome. I also think it is actively trying to destroy my brain.
Yeah.
I think it is just in my pocket, yelling at me to turn my brain off. And at any given time, I can eliminate silence.
Yeah.
I can eliminate my internal dialogue with the doom scroll. And it's so tempting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's oh, you don't like your thoughts? Replace them with, dog videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, you're stressing out about something you don't want to be thinking about. Oh, you can just watch this YouTube video and then you don't have to think about anything anymore.
Yeah.
The elimination of awkward absence with myself. There's this book called The End of Absence that was written a while ago about the impacts on society when we're never alone with our thoughts. And it's profound.
Yeah.
Because we become ourselves when we're alone with our thoughts.
Yeah.
I became myself as a 10-year-old alone with my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had someone ask me that, how, because in our relationship, I mean, actually in any relationship, friendship, whatever it may be, I need my alone time so badly. We'll be hanging out all day and I'll be okay, I need a sec to go do something. And he's you don't want to hang out with me? I'm no, I do. I love you. But I need a moment to recharge. And I think someone asked me if I think that comes from being an only child, because I grew up literally just by myself with my thoughts. And I was that is such a profound thing I've never thought about. Maybe that is why I like alone time, because I literally was alone,
Yeah.
Yeah, we default to that.
Yeah.
Although I used to think I was such an introvert because I was super insecure and super shy.
Yeah.
But it turned out that once I am able to check that insecurity and check that shyness, I actually am such an extrovert.
Yeah.
I really love being in community with people. I feel very energized by being with people.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But naps are also nice.
Yeah. We are big fans.
We're a nap family.
Big fans.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, almost there. What is your favorite form of self-care? And
If you have one.
It's boba.
it's boba.
I find it very meditative because every little boba ball is a fidget spinner a bit.
Interesting.
And the process of eating the boba, in how much boba and how much tea you get in each
So like a
each
flavor
sip.
that you get, like a
So
go-to?
it depends. If I'm home, I have my go-to boba place.
Okay.
And I usually get 2 flavors.
Okay.
It's usually taro and winter melon.
You mix them?
No,
Oh,
I drink 2.
you got it. You get both
You buy both?
separately.
Yeah. Well, I'll usually buy an abundance of boba. So if anyone shows up at the house within 3 hours of me ordering the boba, there's boba for them.
Wow.
Yeah. My boba is part of my
Yeah, you
loving
take it
language.
Yeah. It's
seriously.
your identity.
So, and also when I travel, when I'm traveling, I have a boba blog where I rate boba all over the world. And when I'm rating boba all over the world, I will get a peach green tea 50% sweet with regular boba and regular ice, because that's the boba which I use to consistently rate boba around the world.
Oh my gosh.
You have a boba.
Well, it's
blog.
a section of my Instagram, but I consider it I have a reoccurring boba blog series that occurs on my Instagram page.
Wow.
I'm a dork.
I need to start
Tay.
following that. I need to get him to like boba.
In fairness, the last time I tried, at least 15 years.
You would like it.
I mean,
I don't get what there's not to like about it.
There is
The
boba's
slimy
like
balls.
boba's like therapists. You know, they can change your life and they can just not be the vibe.
Sometimes
You
they
just
give bad advice.
Yeah, you just have to find the right boba, the right flavor from the right place.
Okay. I am willing to try again.
Number 10
Mhm.
is who has had the most positive impact on your mental health?
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind is such a tacky answer. But
What's a tag at? What?
it's like a little bit. The first thing that came to mind is like the people who listen to my music,
Aw.
because I feel very lucky that being open and sentimental and myself
Yeah.
is something that I get to see actively applauded.
Mm.
And I think that makes it easier in a lot of ways. I think it makes it harder sometimes too. But the fact that like my music, which I feel so much myself in, has been received so lovingly by people,
Yeah.
Mhm.
has shown me that being myself is the most powerful thing I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because all of the most successful moments in my career have been with music that was so deeply who I was.
Yeah.
And when I get to tour, like I see the moments where I'm more myself be the moments that resonate the most with my fans.
Yeah.
And like thinking about interactions I've had with people around the world, like is one of the most motivating things for me when I'm going through whatever shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That means you really love what you do.
That's the perfect answer.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Last but not least.
Okay.
And you kind of maybe answered this question earlier without knowing it. Or maybe not. But if you could go back to one moment in your life, what moment would that be? And what would you say to yourself?
I just fell asleep in a movie about this, like yesterday. The movie About Time, where like all the men in this family have the ability to visit moments in their past.
Oh.
I can't tell you what happens because I fell asleep halfway through.
Okay.
But I got the premise.
Okay.
And the person who recommended this movie to me was saying that, I don't know if this is in the movie or this was just his takeaway, but Ryan was like, he wants to live his life as if he's revisiting each moment from the future, which I love.
Yeah.
Like live this moment as if I have just come back to relive it. And how would I do it differently?
Yeah.
I think that's a cool mentality.
Yeah.
If I could go back to a moment of my life, like just to re-experience it or like to change something, are we butterfly affecting?
I mean, we've had both. Maybe it's just like an impactful moment of what you would say to yourself, or a hard time, or a happy time.
Or yeah, I mean, I didn't think about it like this, but it's the positive, nice way to think about it is to go back and relive an experience.
Yeah.
So this morning when I was at UCLA doing that music class thing, guest lecturing, whatever I was doing, where I was feeling deeply out of place and very unqualified. I had a moment like chilling with these like 19, 20-year-olds where I thought to myself, like, you could not pay me to be 20 years old again. Like there's not an amount of money you could pay me to be 20 years old again.
Yeah.
And then was stoked that I felt that way, because I think there's such a there's such a premium put on like your early 20s
Yeah.
that sincerely feeling in a moment that like I'm fucking stoked to be 30 and like I do not want to be that age again.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't like it, but because like I did it.
Yeah.
Like I did it and I loved it. Like I loved living in my car and being broke as fuck in Los Angeles and finding my footing and building community here. So I'm like a bit of a nostalgia fiend.
Yeah.
Which I'm trying to check because it's impossible to romanticize the present if it's in constant comparison to a augmented version of the past that we're visiting.
Yeah.
Giving you such a thinky answer to this question. So first thought, I wouldn't change anything because I really do genuinely like my life.
Yeah.
A lot. And I wouldn't have had anything happen any sooner because I wouldn't have been able to internalize it the same way or make the most of it the same way. And I'm also glad that I was like struggling my ass off through high school. Like so much of my favorite things about myself are because of shit that was going down.
Yeah.
Like, look, am I happy my mom was an alcoholic? No. But do I love things about myself that are there because my mom was an alcoholic? Like, yeah.
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 Like, do I love that my mom died? Of course not. But I'm also able to show up for my world and for my community and for other people in a way that I wouldn't have been able to if she hadn't. So like, it's like there has been like tragedy or like things that were difficult, but also like I feel very grateful for the way I'm able to exist in the world because of everything that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to try boba again for the first time.
Yeah.
Like to have tried it without ever having tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I could go back. But what I don't know if I went back in this hypothetical scenario, do I remember? If I could just for like that moment relive the first time I tried it.
Yeah.
Because I actually can't remember the first time it happened.
Wow.
And that's sort of sad.
Yeah.
Well,
Like what was my first boba?
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. But I can relive other people's first bobas.
Yeah. I will pretty much be able to do that for you because I think I've tried it.
You're going to have to keep me updated and I want to make sure you don't get it wrong. So
okay.
Girl Tay and I are going to collaborate on what that boba is to make sure it's a solid boba.
Okay. Yeah. Because I don't know what flavor to be ordering.
Also, my like mental health conversation series is called Heart Barf and Boba.
Oh.
Really?
Heart Barf and Boba, yeah. We heart barf and we drink boba.
All right.
Well, I drink boba. I don't know if other people do.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
This has been so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for being here. You have an awesome outlook on life that is it's just really cool.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah.
Y'all too. I appreciate getting to kick it with y'all in your home and you being so welcoming and kind.
Oh.
Absolutely. You come over whenever you'd like.
Appreciate it.
I have to bring boba though.
Okay, next
Bring
time
the
I will.
boba.
Yeah.
Woohoo! JP Saxe.
I never know what you're gonna say when we like start taping.
I know. I like to keep it.
Keep me on my toes.
Yeah. Thank you, JP, for that wonderful conversation.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes.
And listening.
Yes.
I hope the start of your week or whenever you're listening to this is going well. And I hope the end of it or the beginning of the next is even better.
Yes. Yes, of course. Make sure to subscribe. And you can always email us, lautner.thesqueezepodcast@gmail.com. Also, we want to start doing some more solo episodes. So if you guys have topics, questions, advice, anything you want us to talk about, send us an email or a comment or
Anything.
Yeah.
A smoke signal.
A bat signal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyways, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. We love you and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation.